Hello, I'm Celestiele, and I'm learning how to navigate modded Minecraft with the help of Protius, a veteran modded player. Welcome to the modded Minecraft classroom. Welcome back, guys. We are on the modded Minecraft classroom today, and we are going to go a little step further with the mystical agriculture, and we are going to automate it. That's right, we are going to put it up in automation, and the really nifty thing is that we are going to use create, which gives us some really pretty windmills to automate. So let's get started.
The next mod here is create. And we're starting a very basic, simple-ish introduction because it's a little bit overcomplicated. Not
Okay.
overcomplicated. It's a very in-depth and complex mod.
Okay. And what's it for?
So create is basically a mechanical motion type mod. Its main purpose is to allow automation through movement, and it just looks really cool.
Okay.
If you like moving parts that are actually doing something, create is fun just to build things that look cool, even if they don't do anything, but they also do things.
Okay.
Unless you don't want them to.
Ooh, they also have a lot of building stuff. Building blocks.
Oh, yes. They want it to look pretty. What?
I can do stuff with azurine.
Yep.
And viridium. And
Viridium?
scorchia. Okay, sorry. I'm here.
So the first two things that most people make in create is a wrench, which basically is the tool for the mod. It allows you to interact with a lot of the things on a higher level. I also forgot the goggles, which should be here as well. I think they're in this version. Yes, engineer's goggles. So if you look those up, you'll see them. They basically will show you how parts of the mod work with it's based off of kinetic energy and stress units.
Okay.
The mod is. So basically every generation block that generates stress units has a capacity of how many stress units it can use, and you have to connect it to other things to use those stress units. But if you overstress the system, it doesn't work anymore.
Okay.
Kind of like if you try to draw too much power from electrical circuits in real life, the circuit breaker pops or the fuse explodes.
Okay.
Yeah. Or like better example, if you try to spin gears too fast, they break. They grind against each other.
Right.
Yeah, that's more apt for this because there's a lot of gears.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the wrench, the goggles, and yeah, the toolbox. You can store tools in the toolbox and use it as like a place to hide stuff. So like I can put raw materials in my, or not raw materials, I can put building stuff, like all the stuff that we're going to get to, in the toolbox, put it down on the ground, hit a hotkey, and I'll be able to access the toolbox from a certain radius around me and swap out like a slot on my hotbar.
So, like an advanced shulker box.
Very advanced. Yes.
Okay.
Very cool too. Limited inventory. I think it only has like 5 or 6 slots though.
Okay.
This is a shaft. So you create things that spin, and the shaft transfers that spinning energy from one thing to another. That's pretty much it. They're also used in a lot of crafting recipes.
Okay.
We have the andesite casing, which is the basis for many of the lower tier machines and utilities in the mod. Mostly just a crafting and decoration. I mean, it looks kind of cool.
Alloy which we get by mixing iron and andesite, or zinc and andesite. Okay. I'm looking up recipes real quick
Mm-hmm.
so I can show people. Okay, shaft is easy. Okay.
Okay. And then we have a basin, which is used to mix things. The basin and this mixer next to it go together. So you put stuff in the basin and with a mechanical mixer above it, and the mixer mixes whatever's in the basin. Objects or fluids. Usually both.
Mixing, compacting. Okay.
There's advanced things to do with it, but we'll get into those later once we actually build some of this stuff.
All right. Mechanical mixer, that looks complex.
It's actually not that bad once you do it. Using it might be a little complex, but I'll walk you through it.
A whisk. It
A whisk,
requires
yes.
a whisk, which is
A lot of
iron
iron.
plate. Okay, so they use immersive engineering's hammer, which we covered,
Mm-hmm.
to make the iron plates.
Or we can make them in the Tinker's smeltery,
We
which is what
can.
I've been doing.
Oh,
Or
there's
we
a
can,
casting table. Look at that.
yep. Or we can use another immersive engineering machine that we haven't gotten to. Or we can use the next thing on this next pedestal, which is the mechanical press.
Okay.
And if you put a metal below this mechanical press, it will, and of course feed it energy, it will smash your ingot into plates.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the create way to do it. I forgot the depot. Where is the depot?
So you can put blocks in it, raw ores, and it smashes it into a block, so I guess you don't have to... Oh, look, emerald essence. Into an emerald.
Oh, that's in the
Is that not
automated
them?
packing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so there's 3 different types.
Pressing, that's
Compacting.
where okay, pressing.
Yeah,
There it is.
pressing
I
is
was
what
in
I
the
was
wrong little
referring
tab.
to. It creates all the plates for you.
Dirt path, steel plate, more plates, plates. Paper!
Paper.
Plate, dirt. Okay. Cool.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty useful. Next, we've got the Millstone, which is basically just a crusher. You can use it to basically make a bunch of stuff, like grind stuff into other stuff. So, flours into dyes. You can turn wheat into flour. What else is it useful for?
Oh, you can get
Mostly
green dye
flours
from
into
all kinds
dyes.
of stuff.
Yeah. Paper, or not paper, sugarcane into sugar. You can turn clay blocks into clay balls, but I wouldn't recommend it. You can turn saddles into leather.
Sandstone into sand.
Cobble into gravel. Andesite into cobblestone. That's cool.
Calcite into bone meal.
Yeah, I saw that. It's mostly
I like the
plants.
sandstone into sand. That's useful. That would take up a lot less space in your inventory to move it, and then you could come back and still have sand.
Except, did you notice it was only 1 for 1?
Oh, yeah.
So you lose 3 sand if you craft your sand into sandstone and then crush it again.
Well, it was useful.
For
Okay.
5 seconds.
Right.
So this next section is going to be for the first kinetic generation that we are going to use.
Okay.
So this is a windmill bearing. So it's a windmill, and this can be placed either upright like you see it there, or 90-degree angle. So it's like on the side of a building. So you can have upright windmills or like standard, the stereotypical farm windmills.
Right. Sorry, I'm rabbit holing down the
Mm-hmm.
crafting. Okay.
A lot of the stuff isn't super complicated to make once you have a
Mm-mm.
basis in
It's really
creating
not. In
materials.
fact, I'm going to skip the crafting recipes for the moment.
Okay. This is a radial chassis. What you do is you stick this on top of a windmill bearing. If you look at the top, it's green.
Mm-hmm.
That
Like a
means that
sticky
it's
piston.
sticky. So,
Yeah, I thought it was a
um,
sticky piston from farther away.
the radial chassis, if you put that on top of a windmill bearing, anything that you attach to the chassis will automatically be attached to the multi-block, because the
Okay.
windmills are multi-block structures. So you don't
Okay.
need additional things to attach it to. But only things that are directly attached to the chassis and a certain number of blocks away, which is
Mm-hmm.
configurable using the wrench way over there.
Okay.
Um, and then the first thing that we're going to use is a white sail. You can make windmills with white sails. You can also dye the sails, but white is the color they're made in.
Okay. That's pretty.
Yeah. So before we go on to the next things, I'm going to show off a makeshift windmill I've made.
Okay.
So you see I have the white sails on here. I
Yeah.
actually realized after I put them on that I put them on in the wrong direction, but shh. Um, I think.
And that one only
So
has one.
yeah, there's a reason
Okay.
for that.
Okay.
So if you look at the bearing at the
Mm-hmm.
bottom and it says update bearing,
Uh-huh.
see how it says right click with an empty hand?
To attach the structure you just built in front of it.
Yep.
Okay.
So try it.
This contraption was unable to assemble. Attached
Mm-hmm.
structure does not include enough sail-like blocks. 7. A minimum of 8 are required.
That's why I
And
left one off.
right.
So now if I put the eighth on, do it again.
Oh, it's moving.
Now it spins. It's very slow because it's very small. The bigger you make it, the more sails that you attach, the faster it'll spin and the more stress units it'll generate.
Okay. It is very slow. So this is
It's very
generating
cool.
power.
This is generating power passively.
Okay.
Not like immersive engineering where it generates FE or
Mm-hmm.
energy, that kind of energy. This is its own energy. Create has its own version.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's very
That's
cool.
cool.
So, and then you right click it again to reset it back to position because you can't build with it while it's moving.
Okay.
You have to, like, if you want to add more sails or, change the color of them, you can't do that while it's moving.
All right. You gotta turn it off.
Yeah.
All right. That makes sense.
Yeah. All right. So the next few blocks are for utility.
Mm-hmm.
This is a mechanical drill.
Okay.
It drills. So it's meant to go through things like stone and ores and other hardened blocks like that.
Okay.
If you attach it to a moving device, because you can attach things to moving devices,
Mm-hmm.
like a windmill, for instance,
Uh-huh.
it will break the blocks
Okay.
automatically. Yeah, it gets more complicated than that, but that's a basic explanation of what it does. I don't use them very often because they're cumbersome and annoying, and there are easier ways to break a lot of blocks quickly,
Right.
so I don't use them.
Okay.
But they're good to know about.
Okay.
Yeah. So this one is a mechanical saw. If we did not have bonsai pots, this is what we would use for tree farming.
Okay. So it cuts
Because if
down
you put
trees.
these, if you put these on a automated farm and it comes into contact with a tree trunk, the bottom tree trunk, it'll cut the whole tree down at once.
Okay.
And the leaves.
That's useful.
Oh yes. Yeah. Also, if you place it on the ground and run certain blocks over it, it'll act kind of like a stone cutter does, but for wood.
That's cool.
That's annoying to set up, but we'll go over it at some point. This is a deployer. It deploys blocks.
Deploys blocks.
It does what it says on the tin. It can so it can either be given an item and it will place that item down, or the mode that it's currently in is basically activate mode, so it'll poke things, so it can
I was just
activate
gonna
like
say,
redstone or
it looks like it's
push
pointing.
buttons. Yeah. If you put an item in that, it turns to an open palm with the item in the palm. And
Okay.
it'll place that, or it'll use that block on whatever it's attached to. Very useful for create level automation stuff. It's a fun
Okay.
block.
It's just poke, 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 poke.
Yep.
I can't carry it around. Poke.
Excuse you.
That's the closest I can get.
You don't want me to hit you with this fist.
No, I don't.
All right. This next thing is the portable storage interface. So if we have a moving contraption that breaks blocks, if you put a chest on it, it collects those items into the chest. However, you can't access the chest while the thing is activated, but you don't want to be turning it off constantly. So what you do is you attach one of these to the inside and the on the outside of the contraption, and when they come next to each other, they will extend, funnel items off the contraption into the other inventory, and then you'll be able to access them. Super useful.
I have a feeling that one I'm gonna have to see in action to understand.
Yeah, it's I
heard
honestly had
words.
to see it in action.
Yeah, I heard words, and that did not compute.
Yeah. Well, all of these do have the like the press hold W to ponder in JEI, but it seems to be buggy and keeps crashing my game when I do that, so I don't recommend it.
Yeah, okay. I
And then this is the last one. This is how we're going to automate mystical agriculture.
Okay.
This is a mechanical harvester. What it does is when it passes over a fully grown plant block in a moving contraption, it will automatically harvest that block.
Okay.
And you know how we have right click to harvest? It'll do the same thing.
And so it automatically plants or replants.
Yep.
Okay.
So what
Very
I like
cool.
to do is take a windmill, attach a bunch of these on an arm around at the bottom of the windmill, and basically spin them in a circle with the plants in that circle. Stick one of these on there, and automated farming.
Okay.
At no cost.
Okay, some things you said earlier this week are now making sense.
Yes. This is what I want to set up at our new base for farming of crops.
Okay. I can do that.
Yeah. So I'll probably set up one or two as a demonstration so that you see it in action before trying to do it on your own. Because
that's probably a good idea.
Somewhat simple, but in practice, it's simple, but not that simple.
Okay.
Because that totally makes sense.
I'm looking forward to that.
So I'll probably do the inferium field first because that's what we need the most of.
Okay.
So I'll build a giant inferium field with this stuff. And this is relatively cheap stuff. I think we have most of this in decent enough quantities.
Okay.
And if not, that's what mining is for.
Yep.
Or growing it.
Yep.
I should make spider seeds so we can get string. Nah, mob farm.
I was just gonna say we have a mob farm.
Yeah. So that's it for create for today. We will
Okay.
have several more lessons on how create works.
All right.
Because this is like less than a quarter of what the mod is capable of.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I looked into create for the building blocks aspect, because they have some really, really pretty blocks.
Most of them don't really contribute to the mechanics of the mod. They're just there to look pretty.
Well, that is okay with me. I will use them to look pretty. I will totally use them for their looks. We are working on the windmill today and the harvester because we are going to put together one of the wind-powered harvesters on the mystical agriculture plot. Pro is doing most of them, but I wanted to give one of them a try, so we're going to do one. I already have the windmill bearing. I have shafts, I've got a chute, I've got some portable storage interfaces, I've got the harvesters themselves, and I've got the sails. So I just need to gather a few more materials, and I will put them all together. I have linear chassis, radial chassis, super glue. Let's move the wood out. Nope, that's my storage drawer, I need that. A chute. 2 portable storage interfaces, a windmill bearing, 4 mechanical harvesters, 16 sails. Do I need any additional shafts or casing or alloys?
Shouldn't.
Okay. So windmill bearing goes down first, right?
Yes. You kind of have to do like a little bit of a jump to get it to go up because it wants to face to the side by default sometimes. Yeah.
Okay.
2 radial chassis on top of it. Okay. Now come down. You're done up there.
Okay.
Now you're going to have to knock out, say, these 2 rows here, right behind you. And yes, I just picked up all 6 of those seeds.
Of course.
Don't worry about it. Do you have your super glue?
I do.
Put the super glue in your offhand. And put a linear chassis on this radial chassis right there.
Does it matter which way I'm facing?
I don't think so. Yes. Okay. See, did you see the squish noise?
That was kind of cool.
So whenever you connect 2 things that don't naturally connect, if you hold the super glue in your offhand, it'll automatically put it down.
Oh, that's nice.
You can also use slime balls for this, but this is cheaper.
Okay.
Also, you can put mending on that.
On the super glue?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
It's hilarious.
Okay.
You shouldn't be able to, but you can. Now you can take it out because you don't need it for a bit. The super glue, I mean, yeah. So you want a linear chassis here and then all the way out to the end. Okay. You have and then your harvesters, 1, 2, 3.
Just 3?
Okay. Now, to
I
test
needed 4. Okay.
To test it, click the bearing. Right-click the bearing. Oh, you know what? It's not going to work. Duh. Sails.
Yeah. I was like, really? Okay.
You know what? So you have to face a certain angle. You want the sails to be facing. See how they're facing that way?
I do.
It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter which way they go. So yeah, yep. Now, What I did was I didn't put it on this bottom one.
You didn't? Oh, no, you didn't.
Just because I thought it looked better. But
Okay. Oh, X.
and of course I picked it up.
Mm-hmm.
How many did you make?
16?
12? 16?
Yeah. So
just like that on all 4?
I like that I can
Those,
place
yeah.
them without having to be up there.
It's cool, isn't it?
It is very cool.
I wish more blocks would do that, but
Right?
more controllable. Yeah, and that is why I didn't put the sail all the way on the bottom.
Yeah.
I forgot.
That makes sense.
Yep. Okay. Now if you right click it, it should go.
Yay! Oh, I fell off.
Okay. Now we stop it. Now you need the super glue again.
Okay.
So put a chest on the middle one.
Ah, chest, I forgot. Okay, hold on.
I might have one on me. I do. I have a chest.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
Yeah, I just super glued that to the the ground.
Yeah, that it does that. You can pick it up.
Okay. And the chest goes on the second one in.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, and then your the storage interface. Yep.
Does that also need super glue?
Yes, and you need to stand this way,
Oh.
so it'll go in the up. Okay, now you don't need the super glue anymore.
Okay. You ready to pick this up?
Go for it.
Still.
You got it. And then to delete the super glue, just smack it with your fist.
Okay.
Okay, so now you want to put the storage drawer in the water right there.
Like that?
And then the chute on top of it. Yep.
Okay.
And then the portable storage interface, you have to stand over here. Well, not up here, but down. Yeah.
Like that?
Okay. Yep. And now it should work.
Okay.
Of course, there's here. Now, yeah, click it. You must click it. Now you can re-hoe that land too.
And you have all the seeds.
But just know that if you turn it off, it'll automatically unplant that.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way over there. Yeah. I was trying to harvest the plant that was right next to it, and that it wasn't harvesting. And,
that's why I
turned it
didn't
off.
bother. Yeah, that's why I decided it would be best just to remove all those, because it's easier this way. Ooh, that one looks really cool. The ice plant looks like icicles hanging off the plant. That's really cool.
Oh, wow. That is nifty. I like this one.
Nature
seeds.
Oh, it is fully grown.
That's what it looks like
this
fully
is how
grown.
We get
That's
a lot of
really pretty.
This is how we get saplings, potatoes. Oh, you can get crimson fungus with it. That's cool. Chorus fruit too, if we made end seeds, which we're not going to do. Yeah, I thought it was good for stuff. You can get lily pads from it. I think it might be the only way to get lily pads reliably. Yeah, it is.
And why would you want lily pads reliably?
Decoration.
So there we have it, guys. We have automation. The ones that don't have windmills yet are the ones that aren't full yet. So there's a couple of farms back there behind me. One there. I'm not sure what's going to go there. I don't know how many more seeds we still need. But that is all of them. And you can see on the map there's a whole lot of circles. They are not symmetrical. They were never intended to be symmetrical, although some of them started that way just because of, you know, where I was making the paths. But we've got the 4 closest, so you'll see like the wool blocks. The 4 closest are the elements, so fire, water, earth and air. And then further out, we have like the metals, and I think back here we have the mob ones. So there's like cow and blaze and things like that. So yeah, that is all I have for today. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today and learning a little bit about Create and the windmills and some automation. We are going to do a lot more with Create and not just the pretty blocks like the deep slate behind me. I do like those bricks. We are going to be building some more with the Create bricks and different blocks, and there's a really pretty water wheel I want to play with, but I'm not interested in using that for actual automation or power or anything. It looks pretty and it moves, and I love that. So we will play with that at another time. But that is all I have for today. Guys, I appreciate each and every one of you so much. Thank you for taking some time out and spending it with me and choosing to hang out here. I will see you guys next time.